What if I told you that the AI tool you thought was just here to chat is now ready to run your digital life? That's not sci-fi. That's what just happened. ChatGPT has gone from being your friendly Kunda assistant to something much more dangerous and powerful. It can now connect to your systems, push buttons, move data, fire off workflows, and even update your business processes in real time. Let that sink in. For years, AI has been the smart kid in the corner, clever, talkative, but ultimately stuck behind the glass. And now, the glass just shattered. ChatGPT has stepped into the driver's seat. Imagine telling it, update my CRM, log the new deal, and kick off the onboarding emails. Done. Or spin up a workflow that takes new Jira tickets, fixes the tags, and sends me a Slack alert if it's urgent. Done. No dashboards, no jumping between apps. Just one command, one assistant, one brain orchestrating it all. And here's the crazy part. This isn't locked in some futuristic lab or billion-dollar enterprise suite. It's rolling out to regular users, people like you and me, which means the what-if questions about AI are officially over. The reality is here, today. But hold on, this is just one of several seismic updates in AI this week. ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, just dropped an image model that's aiming straight at Google's prized Nano Banana. Deep Agent quietly gave small creators the ability to build entire paid apps in under 30 minutes. Adobe embedded AI agents directly into their enterprise ecosystem. And Anthropic's Claude, it can now edit your Word docs, Excel sheets, and PowerPoints, without you even opening them. So yeah, the ground is shifting under our feet. And the question you should be asking isn't, will AI change my world? It's, how fast can I adapt before I'm left behind? Stick with me, because what's coming next will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about technology. Section 1. OpenAI. ChatGPT becomes a control center. Let's start with OpenAI, because this is the update that rewires how we use ChatGPT entirely. The key is something called MCP tool support in developer mode. Sounds technical, right? But here's what it really means in plain English. ChatGPT is no longer stuck in read-only mode. Instead of just telling you what to do, it can now actually do things for you, inside the very apps and systems you already use. Picture this, you're a project manager. Normally, you'd have to open Jira, find the ticket, update the status, then maybe notify the team. With full MCP tool support, you type one sentence in ChatGPT, and it handles the whole workflow end to end. Or maybe you're running a sales pipeline. Instead of logging into your CRM, ChatGPT can directly update customer records, trigger follow-up emails, and sync data across systems, all from the chat box. It's like giving ChatGPT arms and legs. And here's where it gets wild. It's not limited to one app. You can chain multiple services together, read the repo, tweak the file, then push the update and notify me on Slack. Boom, done. Of course, with great power comes potential chaos. OpenAI knows this. That's why every action shows you the raw input and output before anything runs. You still approve or deny, and unless you explicitly allow it, ChatGPT won't execute anything automatically. That's your safety net against malicious connectors, model slip-ups, or sneaky prompt injections. But if you set it up carefully, the possibilities explode. The descriptions you write for your tools really matter here. Label them clearly, like use this to update customer data or trigger this for urgent tickets. That way, ChatGPT knows exactly which connector to grab. This is the turning point. ChatGPT is evolving from a passive advisor into an active operator. And for anyone drowning in dashboards, toggling between tabs, or babysitting repetitive processes, this is game-changing. Still, OpenAI isn't the only one making moves. Because across the world, another giant just set its sights on Google, and they're not pulling punches. Section 2, ByteDance, challenging Google's image AI. Now let's talk ByteDance. Yes, the TikTok parent company, because they just made a bold play in the image generation space. Their new model, C-Dream 4.0, is designed to go head-to-head with Google's Gemini 2.5 Flash image, the one nicknamed Nano Banana. And according to ByteDance, their model isn't just competitive, it's faster, cheaper, and in some ways better. On their internal benchmarks, Seedream 4.0 reportedly outperforms Nano Banana in prompt accuracy, alignment, and overall aesthetics. Now we should take that with a grain of salt. No independent verification yet, but the fact they're even making the claim shows how serious this battle is becoming. What makes Seedream 4.0 different is that it merges two earlier strengths: the raw text-to-image power of Seedream 3.0 with the editing finesse of Seedit 3.0. That combo means you don't just get fast generation, you get cleaner, more faithful edits when refining an image. Think quick tweaks like make the sky darker or add a red jacket, applied without mangling the whole composition. And here's where ByteDance is striking hardest: price. At just $30 for 1,000 generations domestically, or about 3 cents per image globally, they're undercutting Google's model. For studios, creators, or businesses running heavy pipelines, that cost difference adds up fast. Performance is no joke either. ByteDance claims 10x faster inference times compared to older versions. Early users online are already saying editing accuracy feels smoother and more responsive. But here's the twist: while ByteDance pushes aggressive pricing and speed, Google still holds the crown on official leaderboards. Gemini 2.5 Flash Image leads in both generation and editing. Seedream 4.0 hasn't been scored publicly yet. So the question is, when it does hit those charts, will it dethrone Google, or is ByteDance bluffing? Either way, the AI arms race in China is heating up. Tencent, Kuaishou, and others are all throwing models into the ring. The government even recognized copyright for AI art in 2023 and now requires mandatory labeling. So yeah, the West might be watching OpenAI and Google, but over in China, ByteDance is moving fast. And competition like this is only going to accelerate the pace for everyone. Now if you're a freelancer or small creator, this next update is the one you'll care about most, because it's not about images or documents, it's about money. Section 3, Deep Agent, apps with payments in minutes. If you've ever tried setting up online payments, you know the pain. Stripe keys, webhooks, environment variables, endless docs. It's powerful, sure, but it's also a time sink that kills momentum. Enter Deep Agent, which just changed the game for freelancers, creators, and small teams. Their update is simple to describe, but huge in impact. You can now spin up a full app, complete with Stripe payments, in under 30 minutes. Let me repeat that: an app with live payments, ready to take money from customers, in less than half an hour. Here's how it works. You give Deep Agent a single prompt with the basics: product name, price, what's included. The system scaffolds everything: product pages, checkout, email confirmations, the works. Then you securely connect your Stripe account in just a couple of steps. From that moment, every sale routes directly into your bank account. No duct tape, no endless configuration, just plug and play commerce. The apps it generates aren't flimsy prototypes either. You get 3 ready-to-use funnels on day 1. A product page with visuals and instant checkout. A workshop page where people can book and pay. A consultation page that locks payment before time is scheduled. Customer experience, smooth. Payment, confirmation email, done. And if you need to change something, add a discount, adjust pricing, launch a new product, Deep Agent updates both the logic and the interface at once. No double work, but it doesn't stop at storefronts. You can prompt for CRMs, workspaces, microblogs, even marketplaces. Payments remain baked in. For small creators, this is massive. Instead of months of engineering or 6-figure budgets, you can validate ideas in hours. Someone reportedly had a paid app live in half an hour. That's not just impressive, that's disruptive. Because now the bottleneck shifts. It's no longer can I build this, but do I have something worth selling? And if that wasn't enough, Adobe is stepping in next, with an update that could reshape how enterprises actually run. Section 4, Adobe, AI agents across the enterprise. Adobe just made its AI agents generally available across the Experience Cloud, and this one's less about flashy demos and more about cold, hard business value. At the heart of it is something called the Agent Orchestrator. Think of it as a conductor. It listens to a company's intent, uses decision science plus language models to interpret it, and then activates the right agents to achieve that goal. So what can these agents actually do? Quite a lot. They cover audience building, journey orchestration, experimentation, site optimization, data insights, and even product support. And the best part, they're already embedded inside the Adobe tools companies are using daily Journey Optimizer, Customer Journey Analytics, Experience Manager, and the real-time CDP. Translation: if a brand is already in the Adobe ecosystem, these agents aren't some add-on. They live right inside the workflows teams rely on. Adoption is already happening at scale. Adobe says over 70% of their enterprise customers are using the conversational AI assistant, the interface where these agents sit. Big brands like Hershey, Lenovo, and Wegmans are already on board. Customization is also key. New tools like the Agent Composer and Agent SDK will let teams tweak agents to fit brand rules, compliance, and industry-specific needs. Adobe's also bringing in heavyweight partners, Google Cloud, PwC, Cognizant, to push multi-agent collaboration in industries where regulations and complexity usually slow innovation. The magic under the hood: Adobe's dynamic adaptive reasoning engine. Instead of rigidly matching a request to a skill, it adjusts as the customer journey evolves, so it's less if this then that, and more adapt on the fly. The pitch is simple but powerful: augment teams, scale personalization, and drive ROI without ripping and replacing existing systems. For enterprises already deep in Adobe's ecosystem, this isn't optional, it's inevitable. But Adobe's not the only one targeting the everyday office workflow, because Anthropic's Claude just made a move that might actually affect your week-to-week life more directly. Section 5, Claude. Editing office files with AI. Anthropic's Claude just made a move so practical, it almost feels overdue. You can now create and edit office-style files directly with natural language. Need a Word doc drafted, a PowerPoint polished, an Excel spreadsheet tweaked? Claude can handle it, without you ever opening the file. Here's how it works. You feed it data, a request or an upload up to 30 MB. Then you tell it what you want. Replace all mentions of ABC with XYZ, convert USD to UR, fix the titles in this org chart. Claude applies those edits consistently across the file while preserving the original formatting. No broken templates, no cleanup, just done. It doesn't stop at edits, either. Claude can also generate reports from CSVs, create structured tables, even build slides from scratch. And because it handles large uploads, you're not limited to toy examples. Now Google's Gemini can generate docs too, but the difference here is control. Gemini is great at outputting new material. Claude, on the other hand, is excelling at editing existing documents with precision. That's the pain point most of us face: the endless, mind-numbing cleanup. And here's the kicker: Microsoft is reportedly striking a deal to integrate Claude directly into Office 365. If that lands, you won't need to switch tabs or upload files. Claude will live inside Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, like a silent operator working behind the scenes. For anyone buried in reports, financials, or slide decks, that's a lifesaver. Bulk replacements, formatting fixes, currency conversions, all handled automatically. It frees you to focus on strategy, not tedious formatting. It's a small change on paper, but for millions of professionals, it's the kind of upgrade that turns AI from nice to have into must have. And that brings us to the bigger picture: why all of this matters, and what it means for you right now. Final reflection: when you put all of these updates side by side, a bigger picture comes into focus. OpenAI just gave ChatGPT the power to act. ByteDance is slashing costs and pushing speed in image AI. Deep Agent is collapsing months of dev work into minutes. Adobe is embedding AI directly into enterprise workflows, and Claude is taking over the boring everyday office grind. Together, these moves aren't random. They point to a single direction: AI is moving from toy to infrastructure. It's no longer a side tool you experiment with after work. It's becoming the foundation of how business, creativity, and productivity get done. And here's the scary part: the pace is accelerating. What feels cutting edge today will be table stakes in 6 months. The gap between adopters and laggards will only grow wider. So the question is, where do you want to stand? On the side of the people who keep asking, is AI really useful? Or with the ones already using it to save hours, launch products, and outpace their competition? I'll leave you with this: technology waves don't wait for anyone. The people who adapted to the internet early built empires. The people who ignored it got left behind. We're seeing the same pattern unfold again, only faster. So don't just watch these updates like headlines. Think about how they plug into your life. What can ChatGPT automate for you today? What could Claude save you hours on?
Could Deep Agent turn your idea into a real app by tonight? Because at the end of the day, AI won't replace people, but people using AI will absolutely replace those who don't. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, let me know in the comments what update you're most excited or scared about. And make sure you're subscribed, because the next wave of AI breakthroughs is already on its way. Catch you in the next one.